So now we've got our character fully drawn out. All of the lines are nice and neat. We've got shadow and we've got everything masked the way that they should be. I think I'm just going to add a little shadow to his hip before I go any further. So I'm going to add one more layer and I'm going to call that shadow. And possibly just add this one, that, colour it the same, this one, and just possibly have that here, just so that it's all consistent with the theme of our character. Copy and paste that, flip it to the other side. And am I going to have, no, but this torso one doesn't need to be, and have it come from that. And then go back onto my hip. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. Nice and simple. So now all we need to do is add our skeleton. We're going to add our rig. And what we want to do is create a new layer. And we're going to create a bone layer. And we're going to call this, I'm going to call it body. And I'm going to drag all of these layers and drag them into my body layer. So now they're within our bone layer, and we just want to start to add our bones. So I'm going to open up a grid just so that we get all of our bones nice and neat, and I'm going to click on view and click on enable grid, and they're a bit big, so I'm going to click on view again and go to grid settings. I'm going to change it maybe to 5. Maybe that's a bit small, but it will do. I'm just going to start drawing out his bones. So the first bone I always draw out is his main bone. This is the bone I used to control the character with. So I have a bone that goes from here, and then my second bone is my hip bone, and that will go to here, say, and then no, that's going to be too long. I'll have a hip bone, and we take it to here. Then we have a torso bone, and I'll take it to roughly here. And then we have our chest bone, and I'll take it to the top of his body. And then we'll have a neck bone. The next bone I'm going to add are his arms. So I'm going to click on his chest bone, and I'm just going to add a bone from his shoulder all the way down to his elbow. And from that one, I'll add another bone down to his wrists. And I'll repeat the process on the other side. Move about here. To about there. That's the wrong angle by the looks of it. Get the grid right. have it like that. Oh. Why is it not? There. I want these to be in line. I'm going to have it like that. And then we're going to go to our hip, and we're just going to do 2 bones for our thighs, and we're going to have them pretty high, so we're going to have them from here. And we're going to come down to his knee. And then from his knee, another bone down to his ankle. Just do the same for the other side. Right here. The bone to his knee. And to his ankle. Now I want to add a neck to him, so I'm just going to go and create one more layer. I'm going to remove the grid, go back to my reference, and I'm just going to, top of my tool, so I'm just going to add another layer, and I'm going to call that neck, and create a group, call that neck, drag your neck layer into that group, create another one on top of that, and we can call that detail. And create another layer and just call that shadow. I'm just going to quickly draw out the neck on our neck layer. So pretty straightforward, it will just come. It's not going to be so thick. It's going to do a simple neck. Just so that if we do our turn, we've got enough points to give it different angles. And I also want to get them all correct at the beginning, so I don't have any issues later on down the line. So I'm just going to possibly add one more there, one more here, one more here. So that should be enough for our neck. And on our detail layer, again, we could just maybe add in some of this detail here. Just fill in the stroke, 1. I'm going to hide. This. I'm gonna just do that for the neck, and I need to add a stroke to it. I'll give it a stroke, and I'm going to go and play with the lines also. And then remove this line. Like so. Just give it a little shadow. So, no, not there, no. bend out these points. Copy this one. Just flip it and put it over this side. So if we render that out, see what that looks like. We have a completed rig. So now it's just a matter of binding our, let me make this into a mask first also. So by clicking on your layer, clicking hide all and apply, you have your neck. So now we just want to start binding our character together, and it's going to be a selection of point binding and flexi binding. Now with my previous rigs, I've only ever done point binding, and I want to try flexi binding on this occasion. So the legs and the arms are going to be flexi bound, and the torso and the rest of the body will be point binded. I'm just going to go into my torso and select my torso bone, stomach bone. I'm going to select all of the points in my torso layer, and I'm going to bind these to that, and then I'm going to select my chest bone, and at the bend, these points here, I'm going to bind these points to this bone. And we just do the same for our detail layer. So we first select all of our points and we bind all of them to our stomach bone. Then we move on to our chest bone and the points where it bends. So we'll take these, let's zoom out a bit. So all of these ones, to see how that looks. I'll take these and I'll bind them to that, and we do the same with the shadow. Bind them all to the stomach bone. And these two chest bone. I want to go in and remove the bone strength because we're not actually going to need them. So if I just select all of these bones and click on my bone strength tool, you just click on the canvas and drag left, it removes the strength of all of the bones. So now I want to bind my hip, and using the same process, just click on the hip bone, and you bind the whole hip to that for now. Go into our neck, click on our neck bone, and if we, I've got to do a shadow for our hip also. Let's just finish off doing our hip. Just select all the points and bind, and go to shadow. Again, select all of the points and just bind those to there. And now if we move on to our arms, we're going to use flexi binding for our arms. I'm going to try that. So if you select both of your bones on the arm, if you go to the arm and click on the R arm, sorry, that's the wrong arm. If you click on the L arm layer, this one, and if you go up here and you click on bones and you want to use selected bone for flexi binding, and I also want to use create smooth joint for bone pair, and I want to do the same for the opposite arm. So I'm going to select both of these bones. I'm going to go up here into my bone menu and I want to do use selected bones for flexi binding, and again create smooth joint for bone pair. So what this does is, if I now move my arm, the shadows are not bounded yet, but everything should work pretty smoothly from the get-go. Then let me just go in and bound the points for the detail. So again, I'll do the same. Use selected point for flexi binding. And the shadow also. And I'll do the opposite arm. So now we can move our arms. With the shadow not bind or the detail for some reason. Let's go in and have a look. Unless I'm unable to bind more, then let me try that again. As I said, I've never used flexi binding before, and I usually use point binding. And if this method don't work, we just go back to using point binding for the detail and the shadow. That's not major. We just want to use. Let's select these two bones, and only use selected bones. Use selected bones for flexi binding. No, that's not going to work. Right. On our detail layer, all we want to do is, if you click on this bone, you want to release the points. So you just want to go to here and release layer and points. And then on your detail, you want to go to flexi bind and point binding. So you click on this bone. Got this on the wrong layer. That's what's confusing me. Sorry guys. I'm going to take these out. I'm going to pull this, select this. I want to select this and this. I want to cut these. I'm going to paste them onto my detail layer. And that was confusing me the whole time. So now we have them on our correct layers. You want to select these. And you just want to bind those to that bone. You want to select this, and you want to bind those to that bone. You want to do the same with the shadow. Shadow might be a little bit more tricky. You want to select these points. You want to bind that to that, and select this bone, and you want to select the points underneath, and you want to bind those to that. And we just do the same for the other arm quickly. So we select our detail layer. We want to release the layer and points. I'm going to select on the bone. Select the points that you want to bind to it. And select bind. And again, you select the bottom arm. Select the points. And you click bind. And do the same for the shadow. Let's bind those. Bind those. And for our legs, we are going to use. Let me have a look at how our arms are performing first. Yeah, that's what we want. There's going to be a little tweaks that need to be made, but that's what we want initially. So we just need to work on our legs. I'm going to use I'm going to try flexi binding first. So same with the arm, you click on your leg, click 2 bones that you want to bind, click on our bone, and you put use selected bones for flexi binding. No, that's a mistake. Undo that. Shouldn't have had this bone selected. Just make sure this is still working. Yep. Okay. Make sure you only have the 2 leg bones selected. And you want to go to your leg layer, bone, and you want to use selected bones for flexi binding as before. And I'm going to create that also. I'm going to do the same for the other leg very quickly. These selected bones for flexi binding and create new joint. And we just do the detail point binding. So all of these are bound to that. These are. So what we want to do is also bind the shadow onto our leg. So we're just gonna use the same steps. Select these points here. Actually, we'll just select all of the shadow, bind them to that, and select this part there, and bind them to that. So the character should be all rigged. What's happened there? I think there's a bit of parenting issue with this bone. This bone should actually be parented to here. Like that. So when we move our legs, it should work. In sync. So what we need to do now is just go in and we want to create a few more, well, we're going to create a few smart bone actions now just so that we can neaten up a few things on his arm so that everything looks nice and works the way it meant to. I'm just going to rig his neck and bind his neck. So with the same steps, I'm just going to select all of these points. Just going to bind them with that. Shadow, bind, and detail. Bind. So his neck should be able to move. Those muscles. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that in this video. In the next video, we're going to work on the smart bone actions and we're going to try and neaten it up and make sure that everything works in all the positions that it's meant to.